We worked on it for 4 days. And, yeah, we did. And then my son and his wife and 2 kids came down there and destroyed it. But we stayed a couple of days with him too. So.
Good evening, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to the meeting of the Mayor and Council. We have with us tonight Pastor Dyke Verkirk with Life Church Assembly of God at 4100 King Springs Road. Pastor, come on up, and if you'll lead us in the invocation and pledge. Everybody, please rise.
We thank you, Lord, for your wisdom, your guidance, Lord, for these council members, Mayor Derek Norton tonight. Thank you for the opportunity and the blessing, Lord, to live in this city and in this country. We pray your blessing over everyone here tonight and over the citizens of Smyrna, Georgia. We give you thanks in Jesus' name. Amen. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor, for being with us. Thank you to Pastor Shell and Missy and Life Church for all y'all do for the community. Appreciate y'all. All right, we don't have any agenda changes tonight. Under the mayoral report, the only thing I had was we have closed King Street, as you might know, on the weekends from Bank over to Powder Springs, and that's been well received. I think everybody can enjoy the green space a lot better now on the weekends. It's closed from 3 o'clock Friday, I think, till Sunday night or Monday morning. A lot of y'all have come to ask if the front part of the Market Village, we could do the same thing for the same hours, beginning at the entrance to the Market Village on Atlanta Road, to, I guess, where Spectrum Cable is. We are in talks with the businesses right now. I think that's a good idea. So if we can get buy-in and it meets with the covenants of that of the businesses there, that'll be something we'll look forward to voting on here in the weeks to come. So just want everybody to know that's on our radar, and we appreciate the input from the citizens. With that, we've got a proclamation tonight. This is in recognition of National Child Abuse Prevention Month and National Crime Victims' Rights Week. And to present that proclamation tonight is Councilwoman Hines.
Thank you, Mayor. As a person who's been in protecting victims for over 20 years as a prosecutor, it's very important to me to be able to do this recognition. And you'll see a picture that is up on the screens of the Pinwheel Garden, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. That's at the Smyrna Police Department. So this proclamation by the Mayor of the City of Smyrna in recognition of National Child Abuse Prevention Month and National Crime Victims' Rights Week. Whereas children are our most valuable resource, and they are also most vulnerable, all of Georgia's children have a right to be safe and an opportunity to thrive, learn, and grow in an environment that fosters healthy development. And whereas in federal fiscal year 2021, 3.9 million reports were made to Child Protective Services, and whereas childhood trauma can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects throughout an individual's lifetime and impact future generations of their family, and whereas child abuse and neglect can be prevented by supporting and strengthening Georgia's families, thus preventing the far-reaching effects of abuse and neglect, and providing the opportunity for children to develop healthy, trusting family bonds, and consequently building the foundations of communities. And whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. And whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs and activities that create strong and thriving children and families. And whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promote the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. And whereas prevention remains the best defense of our children and families, and now, therefore, I, Derek Norton, Mayor of the City of Smyrna, Georgia, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in the City of Smyrna, and recognize that April 6th through the 12th, 2025, as National Crime Victims' Rights Week, and urge all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all children and families and victims of crime. And I believe Irene Barton from the Cobb Collaborative is here, and I'll give a little explanation about the pinwheel garden that we have here. And as you look at the picture up there of the pinwheel garden, which is there in front of the statue that is at our Smyrna Police Department, it states that the world may be different because I was important to the life of a child. And so what a better place to have that in our city. So Irene.
If that plaque had not been there before, it should have been placed. I mean, it was just like the perfect combination. So thank you so much, Councilwoman Hines, and everybody for having us once again. The pinwheels represent what childhood should be all about, which is a time of whimsy and play and not being concerned about the adults in your life being anything other than those safe and trusted champions and advocates of children. So I have more pinwheels here. I'll leave with the city clerk if that's okay for you all. And thank you all for, many of you wore blue. Don't know if that was just coincidental or you actually remembered.
Councilwoman Hines made sure.
Yes. And everybody needs a Councilwoman Hines in their life. So thank you for that. And I just want to also take this moment to talk about a shift in the child protection world. Prevent Child Abuse Georgia has recently rebranded to Positive Childhood Alliance. So same acronym, PCA, but you may see that more and more. And it really represents a shift in child-serving agencies from surveillance to support. Just as the proclamation mentioned, what can we do to support and prevent abuse, and that goes back to, what do families need in that moment? A lot of times it's concrete resources, and so how can we meet families where they are upstream in a prevention mode rather than in a reactive mode after, unfortunately, maltreatment may have already occurred. So thank you for this opportunity.
So we have a proclamation. I'd like to take a picture with it. If you want to give out those pinwheels to the council, we can.
All right.
And we have members from our community engagement of the police department that are here. And if they wouldn't mind coming up and being a part of that picture, because they are a lot of times in the front lines of protecting our kids. So, thank you.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. Wherever you like, sir. Yes. You want to stand right here?
You want to get a photo real quick? Keep that as a weapon.
Got a stick and no wheel. Oh, there it is. All right, there you go.
All right.
One for each child.
Thank you.
And if you guys don't mind holding up your, as we take that picture.
Let's get right here in the middle.
Oh, hold on, let's get some more color.
There we go.
I feel like a blushing bride here. Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3, and we'll do one more. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, a pleasure.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. I am gonna, you get to hold this one. Okay, hold on. So,
I know, Irene, you do so much for this community, and if I remember right, I saw you on the front page of the paper not too long ago, recently being honored, so congratulations again to you, and thanks again for all you do.
Thank you, Mayor.
sometimes you don't wanna be above the fold, but that was a good day.
We never want to be on the front page, but that was a good reason to be. All right. We'll move on now to community development items. First item is A, public hearing. This is a variance request to reduce the side setback from 10 feet to 1 foot on land lot 345, 2596 South Cobb Drive, Silver Lodestone Incorporated. And this was sent to us by the License and Variance Board at the request of Councilwoman Wilkinson. Any background, Kristen?
Mayor just said, the applicant is requesting a variance of the side setback from 10 feet. Is that better? Sorry, I'll talk louder, sorry. As Mayor Norton said, the applicant is requesting a variance to reduce the side setback from 10 feet to 1 foot for the placement of a freestanding ice vending machine at 2596 South Cobb Drive. Section 802 establishes the building setbacks for properties in the general commercial zoning district.
Thank you, Kristen. We'll turn it over now to Rusty.
Thank you, Mayor. Rusty Martin, Community Development Director. Before you guys tonight, you have variance case V 25-17. The applicant is Silver Lodestone, Inc. As stated previously, they are requesting a setback reduction from 10 feet to 1 feet for an accessory structure on the property. This case was originally supposed to be heard by the License and Variance Board on February 26th. At that meeting, it was deferred to you all for a final action. The subject property is 2596 South Cobb Drive. Is approximately a half acre in size, located in Ward 5. On the property, there's a freestanding restaurant that is currently operating there, and they're looking to build an accessory ice vending machine that'll be located on the property to serve the general public. Here's the proposed site plan. As you see on the south end of the site, there's a 11 by 14 accessory structure. This is a freestanding ice machine that you can come up to, put your money in, and then you get a bag of ice, or it goes straight into your cooler, and then you can drive off and go from there. The applicant has looked at this location, so it's outside of the front setback, which is 50 feet, and it has been pushed into the side setback to maintain a minimum 20-foot separation between the vending machine and the existing building to maintain proper fire access. This is what the vending machine will look like. I've discussed with the applicant that this is not a request for a sign variance, that obviously the machine will need to meet the requirements of the city's sign ordinance with respect to the amount of signage allowable for that structure. On the right-hand side, you'll sort of see the dimensions with respect to sort of the scale of that building. Pictures of the subject's property. Picture on the left is just the front of the property. The picture on the right is showing you the location where the proposed vending machine is going to go. And as you can see, there's no parking spaces on that side of the property. And then here's the adjoining properties to the north and south.
He said there's no parking spaces on that side of the property. Wilkinson didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, on that side of the property, as you can see, there's no line spaces. The spaces on the right-hand side of the curbs, those belong, I think those are Mexican Lindo's parking spaces. Community Development is recommending approval of the requested variance with 2 conditions. One, that the approval of the requested variance be conditioned upon substantial compliance with the site plan submitted. And then 2, that the ice vending machine must not impact fire department access to and around the building and must not negatively impact fire access to any of the adjacent parcels, which are recognized with cross-parcel access agreements. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
On that second point, you told us in the agenda meeting that Fire Marshal has looked at this and has no issues?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And since we don't have an exact site plan with a survey, we just
Be
want to
subject to
ensure that when
one
we
more
get
look.
into the field, that we can verify that
Understood.
is going to be okay.
Any other questions for Rusty? Mr. Lindley?
Rusty, just to clarify, on the last screen, it says essentially community development, if this had gone through, the variance process would have been adopted or allowed?
Yes, we are making a recommendation of approval, license and variance board.
Thank you.
Yeah, they would have probably voted for it.
Any other questions relating to this setback? Ms. Wilkinson?
Can you put the site plan up there again that shows that. Is there any parking for the vending machine on that side of the building? You said there's no parking on that side. Where will people park to get the ice that stop there?
On either side of the building, on the street side of the building, there's approximately 50 feet of area that's outside of the drive lane to park, or to the west side of the vending machine, there's additional parking over there. I mean, the vending machine process for this is probably a minute to a minute and a half to get your ice and leave, so I don't.
You said no parking, so I was just kind of on that side, so I was just trying to figure it
I'll
out.
recouch that. It's not affecting existing parking for the restaurant use on
Okay.
site.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Rusty.
All right.
I'd like to invite the applicant up now. I recognize this applicant as former council member Doug Stoner.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Mr. Mayor. Appreciate it.
Anything you want to add to the discussion?
In the sense, for those who know, this used to be our Dairy Queen years ago. I used to work there as a teenager. Currently owned, we sold the property several years ago to Hibachi Express. The gentleman who currently operates and owns it used to be our tenant. And we have a lease with him as it relates to putting this machine on that location. We've been operating this type of equipment for about 7 years at some other locations we have in Cobb County. So we're very familiar with the product and the machine. And to the point that was said, obviously when we get to the proper time, we'll obviously adhere to the city's signage requirements. Though what you saw, I think, in the sense of the example of the machine is, you have the ability to put advertising on all 4 sides, but obviously we'll meet whatever the city requirements are, and the sides that do not have advertising, we can put something up that just visually looks nice and everything. So this is basically, if you've seen Twice the Ice or some other places, large buildings, this is a true vending machine. And to the ice situation, yes, it bags it and presents it to you immediately. It's, when something, the folks who know us, we want to put it at sites where we have a good property owner, because it impacts us if they're not maintaining their property. And we also make sure that our machines operate and are clean, and also making sure they're taken care of and everything. So I always try to be good corporate tenants.
Any question of the applicant? Ms. Wilkinson?
Yes, thank you, Doug, for being here.
Mhm.
I wanted to ask, is there any maintenance or service that happens to the ice machines You know, just sometimes do they break down? I'm just wondering what's that's like.
Yeah, actually, how we operate, to give you an example, so we have our company, Silver Lodestone, and we actually have car washes, and we have a complete on-board staff that maintains our equipment. We still have 4 Dairy Queens, by the way, and we have lots of equipment. So we have our own in-house folks who maintain these units, and then twice a year, the company, actually, the machines are actually built in Byron, Georgia, just south of Macon, a company called Cooler Ice. So these are actually Georgia-produced machines, and we do preventative maintenance twice a year. They come up that we pay for to make sure the machines are properly maintained and taken care of, because obviously it's in our interest to make sure the machine's operating at all times, because if it's down, obviously you don't make sales. So, you know, our history of dealing with businesses and equipment and stuff, we make sure our stuff works. And so, yes, to that point, yes, we have someone locally that's maintaining it, keeping it stocked and cleaned. And on top of that, we also put out a trash can out there that's going to get emptied regularly. We're not depending on the property owner to do that. We're doing that. Because people, you know, sometimes they'll take a bag or leave it, but we make sure, plus we put up cameras too on all these locations, so we are monitoring it with high-definition cameras all the time. So to your point, yes, the machine's taken care of and maintained regularly.
Oh, is it also available like 24/7?
Correct, yes.
People want to get ice?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And the other thing is making sure, you know, they already have lighting on the property, but we want to make sure it has good lighting, you know, for safety purposes too.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
This is a public hearing. I'd ask now if there's anybody who wishes to speak for or against this item to come up and be sworn in by our city attorney. Jeffrey, if you'll swear him in. You'll state your name and address for the record, please. Welcome.
Thank you. Terry Stuckey. I'm the owner of the property behind the Dairy Queen, 2600 South Cobb Drive. I'm not real crazy about the 1 foot off the property line. That's my biggest concern. And that is a very congested area, okay? Mexico Lindo gets a lot of traffic. And then we have, during the work week, we have a lot of truck traffic in and out of there. So I'm not really for or against it, but I don't like the 1 foot variance on our property. Okay, thank you. Sir?
I think Mr. Welch had a question
Just
for you.
A question, and I've sort of been in your shoes before. What would you feel comfortable with? I'm not real sure, to be honest with you. What makes sense? I'm sorry. What makes sense? I mean, is 1 foot just awfully close, isn't it? Because they go out too much further in the driveway, pretty much. Like I said, I'm not totally against it. I'm not crazy about the 1 foot off the property line.
Thank you.
Because I think your standard's 10 foot, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Thank
Sir, and I'm sorry, just for my own reference, you said your business is behind it. What's the business of yours that's behind?
2600 South Cobb, where the big, large building behind it.
Oh, the whole
The
building.
brown,
Got it.
tan-looking
The whole
building.
building. I got it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to speak for or against this item? All right, we will close the public hearing, and this is in Ward 5. I'll turn it over to Ms. Wilkinson.
Thank you, Mayor. So I also have looked at this area, and I have concerns about there's already like congestion in this space with the business that is behind there, Reliable Hydraulics, and they have like a lot of employees, like I think like 30-something, and they also have a lot of semi-trucks that come in and out of that area in that drive that's right next to this this ice machine. And additionally, there's the Mexico Lindo restaurant that's also right there. I actually did reach out to them, and they had seen the sign, but I guess nobody had sent anything to them about it. But as I was looking through the package, I realized that I guess it's not required by the ordinance because they technically weren't right next door, but it's a kind of an odd shape because it just has almost like a drive to the hydraulic business and then the Mexico Lindo business. So anyway, but that is a congested area. The Mexico Lindo has a lot of parking in that area. I'm very concerned about it because I don't think everybody that's going to stop and get ice is actually going to drive through and around the Japanese restaurant, around the drive-through to stop and get ice. I feel like they're going to pull in at different places and jump out of their car, and I think it's going to impact those other neighboring properties. And for that reason, I want to move to deny this variance request for the 1-foot setback.
Okay, we have a motion to deny the request. Is there a second?
I'll second it for a vote.
Okay, we have a second by Mr. Welch. So all those in favor of Ms. Wilkinson's motion to deny will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. Go ahead and vote.
Wait a minute, my vote changed. I did. I did. But I can vote any way I want to.
We're waiting on Ms. Hines. Okay, that motion is defeated 6-1.
That's not,
It is.
Corky seconded
I
it.
did,
And then
but I
voted
voted
against.
against it.
I think he wanted to give you a vote. I think that's within his right. That's within his right.
Yeah.
Any other action on this?
Motion do pass, and I would ask that Mr. Martin, Mr. Stoner, you get with the gentleman that's the rear property owner to see if there's any way to alleviate his concerns.
Okay, now we have a motion do pass. All those in favor of that motion will vote yes, and those opposed will vote no. Do I have a second, first of all? Second by Mr. Gould. All those in favor vote yes. All those opposed vote no. And that passes 6-1. That is approved. We'll move on to the next item. Thanks, y'all, for being here. Move on to formal business. We don't have any privilege license, show cause hearings. Item A, authorization to approve the contract based off RFQ 25-022 to SCA Construction, 19 Bluebird Circle in White, Georgia, 30184, in an amount not to exceed $454,516.76 to be paid from the 2022 SPLOST for the construction of 44 parking spaces at 2688 Atlanta Road, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Ms. Robinson, the background, please.
Yes, this project is to construct a 44-space surface parking lot at 2688 Atlanta Road. The scope of the work includes the demolition of the existing parking area and building foundation, grading, sanitary sewer, potable water, curb and gutter, asphalt paving, parking lot lighting, storm sewer piping, and detention. And for the record, this company is actually the third lowest bidder. The two lowest bidders, one of them was a contractor who had previously been awarded this work, and then that contract was terminated. And then the other bidder was a bidder that when we checked references, we got references saying that they were substantially behind on the work and that they were having liquidated damages. And so it's a recommendation of Public Works and Purchasing to move forward with the third lowest bidder, which is SCA Construction.
Christian, I missed what was the first bidder's problem?
It was the one that we had originally awarded to, and they weren't able to do the work, and so we had to terminate the contract.
If you remember, there's been issues with that site, including a spring and some other things. Thank you for that explanation. Is there any other discussion or questions from council? It'll be a great addition, especially now with the closing of King Street on the weekends, to have this extra parking over near the green space. I'm looking forward to this being done, and Rusty tells us it'll be done relatively soon, so we're looking forward to that. I think he gave us specifics, but I'm not going to hold him to it.
Relative term.
It is. He was very specific, but I'm not going to be in a public meeting. This is in Mr. Lindley's ward. I'll turn it over to Mr. Lindley. Have a motion do pass, seconded by Ms. Hines. All those in favor, please vote. And that's approved 7-0. Move on to item B. This is authorization 2025-060, authorization to allow the city's financial officer and the mayor to establish bank accounts and be named as authorized signatories. Ms. Robinson, in the background, please.
Yes, the city desires to establish a banking relationship with a bank that we currently do not do business with. The bank requested a resolution or other official document from the governing body authorizing the city's financial officer and the mayor to establish bank accounts and be authorized signers on the account. So that's what this is doing.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Any discussion?
Yeah.
Mr. Welch.
I am, excuse me, I'm not going to support this issue. Typically, when we select a bank at the city, we go through a selection process. And in this case, that wasn't what happened. And I don't feel comfortable with supporting this without that selection process. I just feel like that we should go through the process. If we want to change banks, then that's fine. I'm not opposed to the changing of the banks. I just think that there's a process that's established, and in order to do that, we should, in order to change and move money to another bank, I think we should go through that process. I just don't think this meets my smell test. So with that.
Thank you, Mr. Welch. And Christian, you want to give a little bit more clarity on what we're talking about here, and it's my understanding we're not switching banks. We have our major accounts with one bank, and this is a small fraction of, will you just give a little bit more clarity on it?
Yes, so our main banking relationship is with Truist. We established that relationship through an RFP process years ago, and we have maintained that relationship with them. This is a one-off. This bank has approached us. We had a previous relationship with someone who has moved to this bank through former bond offerings. They're active in the community, and they've been actively talking to us, and so we are looking to move one account into this bank to have some exposure with this bank and see what the relationship looks like. But like I said, our main banking is remaining with Truist, and we've had them for probably 15 years. We did an RFP process about 10 years ago, and we have renewed that relationship with them several times, just because if anybody knows, a banking relationship at the city level is a huge endeavor, so we are not moving everything.
You would be fine with us not moving all of our assets?
Fine with us not going through that process currently.
And as was discussed in the agenda meeting on Thursday, they have had discussions with our staff, we're talking about Truist, recently to improve terms and service and everything, so you're very comfortable with, and that's not what we're talking about here anyway, which is moving just one portion, one small portion.
One small bank account over.
Any other discussion amongst council? Any other questions? Okay.
Just one thing, Mr. Mayor. I do think, engaging with some local community organizations, community bank in this case, when we can, serves multiple purposes. One, their engagement in the community. Secondly is gives you a different level of service also compared to quote unquote big organizations, right? And it's a good opportunity for us to experience that and just understand that we have choices. So see how their service works out.
Anybody else? Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Motion do pass by Mr. Lindley, second by Mr. Oglesby. All those in favor, please vote. And that's approved 5-2. We'll move on to item C, authorization for the approval of exchanging whatever interest the city has in approximately 7,347.4 1,053 square feet of property situated in land lot 684 of the 17th District for approximately 9,969.84 square feet of property, now or formerly owned by Foundry Watkins Property LLC, situated in land lot 684 of the 17th District, and authorize the mayor to execute a quick claim deed and all related documents. Ms. Robinson, can you tell us what all that means, please?
I am not going to repeat all of that and reread that. I'm just going to add to it that the value of both parcels has been established by appraisals, and the property to be conveyed to the city is of greater value than the property that it proposes to convey. The appropriate legal notices for the exchange have been published.
Any questions or discussion? We had, yes. This is just a formality, I believe. May I have a motion? Motion do pass by Mr. Lindley, second by Mr. Welch. All those in favor, please vote. And that's approved unanimously, 7-0. Next is the consent agenda. Ms. Robinson, can you please read the consent agenda for council approval?
Yes. Item A, MIN 2025-065, approval of the March 13, 2025 Committee of the Whole meeting minutes. Item B, MIN 2025-067, approval of the March 17, 2025 pre-council meeting minutes. C, MIN 2025-069, approval of the March 17, 2025 mayor and council minutes. D, ATH 2025-054, authorization for a road closure for the 2025 college football Saturdays at Village Green Park on Saturday, September 27th, Saturday, October 18th, and Saturday, November 15th, 2025, beginning at 8 a.m. until 11 p.m. from King Street at Bank Street to King Street at Village Green Circle, Southeast one-way street next to Village Green Park. Item E, authorization 2025-056, authorization for a road closure for the painting the two crosswalks across King Street Southeast in front of City Hall at Spring Street Southeast on Tuesday, April 8th, 2025, beginning at 7 a.m. through Monday, April 14th, 2025, ending at 7 a.m., and for closing Bank Street in conjunction with the Village Green Park weekend road closure approved March 21st, 2025, and the crosswalk painting closure at Bank Street and Village Walk on Friday, April 11th, 2025, beginning at 3 p.m. through Monday, April 14th, 2025, ending at 7 a.m.
That all you got? That was a lot. And Kristen is in place of Joe, who is traveling. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agendas? So moved by Mr. Lindley, second by Ms. Hines. All those in favor, please vote. And that's approved 7-0. We'll now move to our citizen participation section of our meeting, and we'll begin with public comment. We have two people signed up to speak this evening, Cherie and Michael Upton, 6020 Riverview Road. I'll invite you up now. Welcome.
Hi. So my name is Cherie Upton. I'm the founder of Gathered by Love Foundation, nonprofit. And pretty much we're here today because we're going to be hosting an Easter giveaway on April 19th at the Rose Garden Park.
Cute little flyer. Can y'all see it? Need your glasses? All right. Okay.
We also have a cleaning company, residential and commercial, LLC, Ballerina Professional Cleaning. So we're kind of new to this nonprofit organization, and this is our first annual. And we're just pretty much here to see if we could get some kind of support with this event on April 19th.
Which is in Ms. Hines' area.
That's what I was going to ask.
Okay.
Well, financial support. We're going to be giving away Easter baskets. We're going to do an Easter egg hunt. We're going to be giving away clothes, shoes, food. Free food. We'll have a few vendor trucks out there as well.
So from a city, and I'll let Jeffrey chime in here, but from a city perspective, financial support from a public institution using taxpayer funds for a specific organization is not something that we can do. But I would imagine Ms. Hines and others would be happy to help promote and maybe help you connect with potential sponsors in the business community that may appreciate what you're doing and want to be involved and have their name associated with some of the good things that you're doing. First of all, let me just tell you, we really appreciate you coming to us and really appreciate what you're doing. I wish more people would step up and try to affect good change in their community. But is that generally correct, Jeffrey?
Absolutely,
On the
Mr.
financial.
Mayor.
And so Christy, who is our executive assistant, said that you guys had an opportunity to stop by, and the event does sound great, and definitely connecting you with Liesl Castleberry, who is a very known community leader there and does a festival in the fall and in the spring in Rose Garden, which will be a good thing to be able to help get the information out there. And I think if we're able to share the information, at least I can do it on my own personal social media, we can
We'd be
do
glad
that
to do
about
that.
the event as well.
Can I have one of the cards?
Oh, yes, sir.
I want one too.
Yes,
Then I can take a
are you
picture
able to
of it.
give us a few of those?
Yeah, yes. I'll pass them on. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. There you go.
And we appreciate you coming tonight to talk about what you're doing.
And there are a lot of great organizations, like there was like Cobb Collaborative and places like that who may not be able to give you money per se, but they can also kind of be there as a resource and help give out some items as well. So if you stay a little bit after, I can give you some contact information.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, I wanted to say the same thing. If you could stick around to after the meeting, that'd be great.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Mr. Norton. I'm Mayor Norton. I inboxed you.
You did what?
I inboxed your Facebook, and then I inboxed your Facebook too, Ms. Hines. I was stalking. Yes, I was. I was trying to get this word across because she's on my back. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it.
Oh, we're glad to help. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
y'all.
Thanks for being here. All right, that is the only folks that signed up to speak. We'll go on now to ward and staff reports and start tonight with Mr. Glenn Pickens.
Thank you, Mayor. No report this evening.
Ms. Hines.
So we have an upcoming event, and I want to make sure I keep recognizing it. It's the Legal Pop-Up Clinic that is done by Cobb Magistrate Court, Cobb Legal Aid, and the State Court Clerk's Office. And Councilmember Lindley and myself helped sponsor that. It's going to be at Smyrna First United Methodist. It's on the 3rd. It's completely free. It is a civil pop-up legal clinic, and we'll make sure that information is getting out there. It was a really great response last year, and it's a great resource that we're able to bring here to the city. So I'm excited about that. It's going to be on May 3rd. Going to be a busy day, May 3rd. Jonquil Jog. We have also the garden tour as well. So that's the wonderful thing about the Jonquil City. We always have something going on.
Thank you for the reminder to mention the Jonquil Jog. My wife will be happy that you did that. May 3rd. Hope that we got, 400 registrants already. It's going to be great.
Wow.
Mr. Lindley.
So just the reminder that the downtown redevelopment public engagement is underway. If you'd like more information, you can visit the city website. It'll take you to a dedicated website, but there'll be events throughout the summer, concluding towards the end of the year. I think to date, there's already been 3 or 4. So that's underway, and hope everybody will engage. We want to hear from folks. To comment on Ms. Hines, and thanks to her for helping organize the pop-up clinic last year. We had, I think it was their biggest one in the county, demonstrating a huge need, and a huge thanks to Smyrna First Methodist for hosting. And then lastly, the gentleman, he sort of beat me to the punch, been dealing with trying to get word out in Ward 1 on a zoning matter, and it drove home a good point, which is retry to be very accessible and open with phone numbers, email, town hall meetings, public events. All of us are great about being responsive, but we do not conduct business on social media. So Facebook comments asking what's going on X, really needs to come through the proper government channels. So just wanted to put that out there. I know there's a lot of questions on stuff at every level of government, which is always fun to see on social media. But if you're looking at the local level, please reach out to one of us. We'd love to talk to you and make sure you have facts and all of the information that we have, which is all public information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lindley. Mr. Welch.
Thank you. Just a reminder, I believe this Saturday is Keep Smyrna Beautiful. If you're interested, drop by the recycle center and sign up to pick up trash. Or call me. I'll get you pick up and meet with my mile.
Ms. Wilkinson.
I also want to encourage people to get your tickets for the garden tour. That's always a lot of fun to see different people's gardens in the spring. And also, they're going to have the Jonquil Garden Club will have plants for sale at the festival in the downtown. So I encourage you, if you want to get some plants, that's always a good resource, reasonably priced. And with that, I yield.
Mr. Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple things. Busy time in spring. Coming up on Monday, April 21st, is the 27th annual Susan T. Pearson Golf Tournament in support of the Campbell High School Education Foundation. If you want more information on how to be a T-Box sponsor, or we have one foursome available, let me know. The city is going to be recognized on May 17th by the Cobb Foundation around efforts to recognize Fannie Williams, and the memorial out there next to the History Museum. So we're very honored to have that recognition. And then finally, Live Safe Resources is a really good nonprofit here in Cobb County that supports victims of sexual abuse and domestic violence. And they recently had a gala, their annual gala, where they recognized 15 amazing women throughout the county. My wife, Judy Fitzgerald, is one of them, and she had the honor of being selected the Woman of the Year for Live Safe Resources. So I want to put a plug out to Judy. I am definitely a second citizen in our home. Judy is a wonderful person and does great work in her roles in leading a nonprofit organization. So congratulations.
We all agree with you, and congratulations to Judy. Mr. Oglesby.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Mayor. First off, as mentioned earlier, the crosswalks, we've cleaned it up, and we're going to get them redone the right way this time. We have a professional company that will be selling it, so it stays for a very long time. I know there's been a lot of buzz about it and seeing it kind of disappear. Well, we've learned from that, and we're going to make it much better. So the artists have agreed to come back. Weather permitting, we'll start tomorrow, weather permitting. So be on the lookout for that. And keeping with the artery, our first installation of the artery on South Atlanta Road will start Mother's Day weekend. We have 14 amazing artists that will be decorating our fire hydrants all up and down South Atlanta Road. So we're excited about that. That'll be on May 10th. So look out for that. With that, I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Oglesby. Kristen, anything? Jeffrey?
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Heather? All right. If there is no other business to be brought before this body, we will say good evening from the Jonquil City and adjourn at 7:47.